What's going on, guys? You got Professor O coming through with a dose of that good yolk. I'm everywhere like broken glass. I'm around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Today I want to talk about master all nature now. What do I mean by that now? Of course, when I talk about nature, I'm not really referring to, how do you say, Mother Nature, all this extraness. When I'm talking about nature, again, that inner work, that inner nature. That can mean your mentality, your physicality, anything that's within arm's reach that God has blessed you the tools with since the beginning, since you got here, to be able to handle you. Now, dealing with nature in general, you need to understand that you have your physical nature and your mental nature, and the spirit reigns supreme over all. Now, when you're dealing with your physical nature, understanding that your body has an opinion, right? It's not a fact. It's an opinion. Because, all right, think about it like this. A great example would be, you want to start exercising. You want to get up and start jogging, maybe run around the track a few times, etc., so forth. You want to get up early. You want to change your whole regimen. You want to get up early, you want to eat correct. You want to do everything correct, right? Everything in proper order that you'll know that'll get you the desired results that you want and need. So let's say, all right, I want to wake up. I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to do this, and this is going to be the plan. I'm starting on Monday, even though you should start immediately, maybe the next day or at that point there. But whatever, you set up a plan. So I'm going to start. Monday comes, you even set an alarm. 6 o'clock comes, you see that alarm, you're like, yo, it is early. I am not feeling this. I'm not, I'll just do it tomorrow. Now, your spirit and your mind understands that, number one, because your mind has its own the mind is very tricky as well, but I'll get to that a little later. But the body is like, yo, I do not feel like doing this. This ain't it. I'm not doing this. I'll do this tomorrow, la la la. Your mind is like, well, we did set a plan, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really feel like even feeling that type of exertion right now, whatever. But your spirit is like, yo, we need to get to it. Which is you. You need to get to it. We need to do this right now. We set a plan, etc., so forth. At that point in time, literally, your body has an opinion, your mind has an opinion, but you yourself know what needs to be done. Now, this is what I mean by mastering all nature. You need to master your physical nature, because then your mind will get ready to step to it, because it's kind of like, all right, when you say, you know what, I'm getting up, as soon as you get up, your mind is like, yeah, that's right. I'll run this. It's time to get up and do this. But also realize your mind doesn't like to feel exertion. This is when your mind will play tricks on you. This is why you don't want to overthink, because you can overthink yourself into failure. It's good to think critically, but not to overthink. And I'll get into that maybe in another video. But for now, we're mastering all nature. I digress, because I am long-winded. So I wanted to get involved in that real quick before we get to the handy dandy notebook. Who writes, no script on this side, but it's on this side. Who writes the script? Clearly your boy do. Handy dandy notebook in the spot, don't make it hot. Let's get to it. I don't see why not. First point, when you master all nature, physical and mental, life will work with you regardless. Now I need you to understand that, because when you're mastering your physical and your mental, and then when they become one, when they're all on the same page, everything is becoming wholesome. They're all in agreement. They're equally yoked. Everything is operating at the proper timing because everyone's on the same page. You say, I'm getting up at 6 o'clock. The body says, I'm getting up at 6 o'clock. The mind says, I will get the body up at 6 o'clock. And then now you're in alignment. Everything's in alignment. Your frequency is changing because you're emitting something that is wholesome and everything's on the same page. Your signal is emitting very strong, you're resonating greatly. This is when you start to get that attractive, addictive, beautiful energy. Says when you walk into a room, somebody just be like, it's something about this individual. I do not know what it is, but he's looking sexy. Of course I am. What it is. Don't hate you guys. Appreciate the flow. I digress, right? But that indeed, excuse me. Let me just get a little, let me fix myself. But yes, indeed, that will happen, right? I digress. Let's get back to the point right there. When you gain a certain level, when you obtain a certain level of inner peace, you'll gain more space mental space for understanding that'll lead to a deeper clarity. Now, when you obtain, I want to kind of break this down too. When you, when you attain a certain level of inner peace. Now that inner peace is when you're literally quieting your inner mind. Because you got to realize, all right, I don't want to get too much into it, but I have to because it's part of the mental nature, right? Realize your mind loves the mind. I said this in the other video. I still haven't figured out how to do the little prompt things to be like, oh, well, this video right here if you want to see that. But whatever, we're here now, so let's get to it right now. So when your mind loves to mind, like it loves to operate, it always wants to, figure it out, puzzle, that's what it's for, all right? It's there for organization, concentration, discerning, etc. so forth. This is what it's about. So when it's in the midst of wanting to mind something and realize there's nothing to mind, this is when overthinking may happen, and other things may creep in, but mostly is when you start to overthink and then realize also your mind likes to think, and it'll also get satisfaction from achieving a thought or solving a puzzle or a problem. But you don't ever want to let it rest there. You want to actually do. Realize this also, your mental space can also be very, how can I say, euphoric when it comes to rewards. And you can actually trick yourself into feeling rewards by overthinking, you're figuring it out, and then you may even just have a little conversation, and that alone would be enough stimulation just for you to just be like, that was enough. Wow, yeah, that was a good idea. I spoke about it, it felt good, and that's it. But you didn't actually do it yet. You didn't put it into fruition. You didn't see it actually become tangible, which is something that you need to actually do. And also put the first foot in front of the other, and you'll be able to get there. But then I digress. So let's get back to the minding part. So now your mind likes to mind, it likes to think, it likes to operate, it likes to just overall work. So in order to have it work for you, you have to realize you're the gatekeeper of what comes in, what goes out, what stays, and is it beneficial for it to stay, and how can this benefit you or be applicable to your everyday life or to something that you're working towards. Because you don't want to clutter your mental space with foolishness, because then you'll start to run out of mental capacity. And when I mean by running out of mental capacity, you have immense mental capacity, but things that are more immediate you kind of want to clear out so you can have space for the larger on the circumference, right? Are you walking with me? Please keep up. So when you're minding, and your mind is as in minding your business, but when your mind is minding, you want to be able to really discern the things that it's minding, what's going in, what's going out, what stays. Once you acquire that and you have understanding, and then that can operate autonomously when you train your mind to be able to do so without you consciously being able to be present to do it, and at that point then is when things become way more easier. Why? Because you gain that inner peace. Now your mind isn't going to pay attention to foolishness. It becomes instinctual now. It's no longer, it was reactive, and now you responded. And now being that your response was so prevalent and more beneficial, because your mind is all about figuring out something that's healing and beneficial to be able to move forward. So when you control it and you take reign of what needs to be done and what needs to be in your mind at that current time for past, present, future, etc. so forth. I'm also present, future, whatever the case may be. It becomes autonomous. And then as it becomes autonomous, it'll be like, oh wow, well, this is nice. I like this a lot. Okay, yeah, I think this will work. Well, okay, yeah, this works. All right, great. All right, yeah, it's time there. And then you just let it go, and then it'll start to discern it. So, oh yeah, I don't have to think about that. That sounds foolish. Oh, well, this may be beneficial. Let me see. Okay, do a little, thinking, or, all right, well, let's keep it. And if not, no, I don't need that. And then it's going to work autonomously. That's what you want to do. And then once you get to that point, then it's already a filtering process. And when that filtering process has already become prevalent and it's become more strengthened, then you start gaining that inner peace, because you're doing things so fast and autonomously, you're not even noticing things that go in and out because it's already being filtered. It's like, I don't need this, I need this, or this works this. The only time you'll ever gain interest is when something's new and it seems beneficial, and then it may require a conscious thought. And then that's when you're like, oh, what is this? And then your interest is gained. And then you'll be able to kind of dissect it, discern it. I digress, you get it. But that's when you gain that inner peace, and that's what you want to get to, mastering your mental nature. But I digress. Let's get to the next point. Now, dealing with this is also dealing with spiritual warfare. I don't want to get too much into it, but it definitely is real. And when you're dealing with it, the devil will try all angles, because the devil doesn't like to see you benefit. The devil doesn't like to see you win, doesn't like to see you strengthen, because you're a representative of God. When you're a representative of God and you look good and you look smooth, you're like, well, I cannot stand it. This, that, and the third. What makes him so, you get so angry, so upset? You just chilling. You just, I don't know. It's God. Don't hate me because you ain't me, because I'm sexy. You know, it's just what it is. So, but I digress. So you're chilling, you're doing that, and the enemy is looking at you, and it's like, he'll try all angles. And usually the angles that the enemy tries are the 7 deadly sins. I already mentioned it before. I'm going to try and get them off the head, but I don't feel like going in my book. So if you do know them, put them in the comments. If not, well, look them up. Google has it all. Yahoo has it all. AOL has it all. Whatever search engine that you look for. Opera, Firefox, Google, whatever. Look it up, is all that, right? But in this, 7 deadly sins would be like wrath, lust, jealousy, envy, sloth, I don't know, I forget the other two, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you get it. Look it up, you do your due diligence. When you look it up and you realize, when you master them and they have no effect on you, the enemy has no place. The enemy has no place to work with you. And then now you start adding in things that are spiritual, like love, peace, joy, steadfastness, patience, long suffering, etc., so forth. When you start to endure and you start to have understanding towards that, and it starts to creep into your inner, and then now it becomes, again, first it becomes reactive, then it becomes responsive, and then it becomes instinctual. Oh, stop it. God is be like, oh, I like this one. This is the one right here. Well, I can do it. You know, he well-rounded. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. This is how it works. So you'll just be flowing, man. It'll just be a flow. It's just such a beautiful point. It really is. It really is just a beautiful point. And as this happens, you'll start to realize, like, things will just become more chill, more cool, because you're cool, calm, and collected. It's just what it is. And that's when you start activating the spiritual things. And then now it's all about, you start to imitate God's love. And it's so hard to imitate God's love because it's so unconditional, it's so patient, it's so warm, it's so love. It's just such an experience that it's very hard to even express in words, because again, there's going to come to a point in time when words truly can't express these experiences any longer. They're just so massive and so spectacular that the word just doesn't do them enough justice. But I digress. Oh, excuse me. Oh, pardon me. Nose is itching. Can't be digging in the nose on camera though. But when I'm off it, I'm finding that gold. Don't hate me because you hate me. I digress. Right? But literally, that's what it is. All right. Yeah, this is very encouraging. I really like how I've written this. The 7 deadly sins appease to your physical nature and not the spiritual, although the sins themselves are spiritual in nature. Now, I need you to realize this, because understand that and I've experienced this, even some of myself. Oh, pride. There's pride. So there's, right, because oh my gosh, how can I forget pride? Pride and gluttony. That's what it is. So it's wrath, lust, pride, wrath, lust, pride, sloth, gluttony, and envy, and I don't know. Damn it. Whatever. I don't care. Look it up. So anyway, but realize these things, these attributes are really spiritual in nature. And what I mean by that is, if you ever notice when people are in those states, right, you look at them, they'll be either slothful, they'll be sinful, lustful, wrathful, prideful, whatever the case may be, they'll be full of that said sin. But their nature has changed, and you would know them. If you truly know somebody, you know what I mean? Like, you really got the chance to know them, and you really got the chance to exchange experiences and share experiences and share mind, etc., so forth, when you're building with each other, etc., so forth. When you really it becomes very intimate, whether this is friendship, more so whether it's platonic or romantic, whatever the case may be. It literally is a very intimate exchange. and I'm not talking on a physical sense. This is very a mental exchange. This is a very beautiful exchange. If you can ever find someone who shares that type of bond honestly, earnestly, and you'll understand it. Also, you can get a heartbreak from friendships and platonic and romantic relationships, but that's a whole nother different video that I don't even think I'm going to cover, but maybe I will. But anyway, that's not for here now. But understand when you're in these sense, and then you'll realize you could truly know somebody, but then when you see them in these traits that are just not of the individual you know personally, because you realize they're taking on a spiritual attribute. When they take on a spiritual attribute, this is something that can override those traits, because these are indeed spiritual in nature. And it's very, 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 very serious. They can be very strong depending on how they appease to the closest physical, how can I say, physical attractiveness to it, if that's the better term. However, because it always attracts to your lower self. It always does. Literally, like, people who are wrathful, they may feel sensitive in certain areas, and how they respond may be through wrath. People that are lustful may respond to certain things where they're sensitive, where they're lustful, and that may be an escape off of wrath, or maybe an escape off of pride. They just may be a situation where they feel prideful, or they feel whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter, and the fact remains that this is indeed individuals that happens, and the individuals that go through these situations. There's nothing you can do about it. All you could do is pray and make sure you can actually speak those things over them, for words can be able to conquer through that spirit and overcome them. But also realize, again, these are spiritual in nature, and this is what I mean when they be able to take over certain attributes of the vessel that are physical. But again, I digress. Usually the simple natures are harder to acquire, let alone master. Oh yes, now this is dealing with, hold on, let me finish. Usually the simple natures are harder to acquire, let alone master, though one would say those traits journey is the destination. And what I mean by being simple, in case maybe, the simple natures would be like being patient, being kind, being understanding. These are simple traits, right? Very, very simple. But if you notice the mastery there has no, how can I say? There is no point of destination when you're dealing with these beautiful, powerful, simple traits. There's no destination, because they can always be refined to something greater. They can always be refined to gaining a bigger height in the situation. Just what it is. And that's so beautiful, right? But I digress. I'm long-winded. Yes, I said that. Yeah, and that's it. And that's it right there. Again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the expert, the pro-fish, and E-fish, and selfish, and the one that's always doing it and never losing it, that's growing, that's glowing, that's going at all times. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And remember, speak good, do good, see good, because when it is good, it's all good. Can you dig it? And for the haters out there that love looking at your boy, make sure you look at my good side, because you know that I'm sexy. Can you dig it? Yeah, I think you can. Peace, love, and light. See you guys in the next video.